Remember, I played a clip last night of Joy Reid mocking white women's tears. Well, look who's crying now.
My show had value.
YouTube, good morning, good noon, good night. It's your boy Rowdy, and man, we got some news for y'all today. Come on now. I know I'm a little late to the party, but you know we got to give our 2 cents about what's going on. Anyway, did you guys know? Did you guys hear? Joy Reid is out. The Reid out has been weeded out. You feel me? And it's really coming under fire because the new, I believe, the president of MSNBC, she's just doing what a normal person who's taken over, basically, not to compare it, but basically what Trump's doing. If you were there with the preceding, people, typically new people, new leaders, new coaches, new presidents, they bring in new people to work with them. So if you let's say for instance, to make a comparison to football, Joy Reid is the star quarterback, or she's the star head coach, and the president or the GM's like, we're going to go different ways. I have somebody else I want to bring in with me. That's basically what's going on. It's not racism, because in fact there are 2 black people that's going to be on a panel that's going to be taking that slot. My opinion is she didn't want to take a pay cut. They don't just fire people, especially people of that magnitude. I think she just didn't want to take a pay cut. Rachel Maddow was next. She already, I believe, took a pay cut, and she's got to work more days. But basically what she's going to end up doing after a while is she's going to be back to a regular slot, because she's not, in my opinion, she's not brought enough for her to be able to just work 1 day a week. There's not one person that I believe brings so much to a situation where they can only do what they do once a week. But to that point, we'll see how wonderful Joy Reid does when she's basically in this situation like Don Lemon. He's got a nice platform with people who follow him, and he's got a voice, a strong voice, I might add. I mean, when he originally got fired, guess who hired Don Lemon? The racist, Hitler saluting Elon Musk. He hired Don Lemon. Now, Don Lemon ruined that opportunity, but he did hire him to work for him. Think about that. All these people talking about Elon Musk he cares about nobody but himself is a lie. In fact, he's so selfless that he's willing to tell us and be transparent. How many billionaires do we get the opportunity to hear their voice on a daily basis? Not a one. Typically, they're making their money, whether they're doing it, the right way or the pseudo right way, and we don't hear from them. We don't see them. You know what I'm saying? We get to see Elon Musk. We get to see what he's got going on, what he's doing, and he's being transparent with us. So at some point, we got to shut up and just let things be the way they are, because roles reversed. Who would we have if we would have voted for Kamala? We would have never seen them, and we would have been sitting there in the same situation. At some point, it would have just been going on, and then at some point, it would have imploded. So, anyway, today we're going to be reacting to the Sky News Australia, because I really do like how she talks. The Rita Panahi, I believe. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but she's awesome, and I like how she has a good conglomerate of Joy Reids. I've been looking for different compilations, but this is probably one of the better ones. And I'm just going to react and interject, But anyway, if you like to this point, or if you've watched to this point, please like, comment, subscribe for more content. I'm going to keep bringing it to you whether you like it or not. But anyway,
let's jump into a Joy Reid extravaganza. This is just going to be so much fun, so much broken race baiting, extreme left nastiness. Where else can I find content this utterly unhinged?
One side stands for freedom, while the other meets the textbook definition of fascism, namely a far-right dictatorial regime like Hitler's Germany or Franco's Spain or Mussolini's Italy.
Oh, yes, she was obsessed with calling anyone who wasn't an American-hating Marxist a fascist or a racist.
We do have a fascist groundswell in parts of this country, mainly among white men, let's be clear. The racist tomahawk chop, the gesture and chant promoting stereotypes, caricatures, and frankly, hatred of Native American people. Similarities to what happened in Germany and what's happening now in America are just undeniable. History may not repeat verbatim, but it sure does rhyme.
Sure.
Listen, speak of undeniable, her evolution from being a black woman to being a pseudo white woman is insane, and it should have been studied.
And began hosting the weekend talk show AM
Look at
Joy
her real quick.
in 2016. The very next year,
Look at that black woman right there. That is Joy Reid. Look how beautiful she looks. Now, I don't understand. I don't know, the inner workings and all of that. Some people, they go bald and things like that. Obviously, this is not her hair. However, look how beautiful she looks. This is the aesthetic of the black woman right here. Now, if we go back to what we was looking at, look at this. All of that unnatural makeup, that blonde hair. Listen, I don't care what y'all say. I do not like that black women have to color their hair. I mean, I get it. You want to have different, you want to express yourself differently. But why are you allowed to be upset as a black woman when you were doing what white women do, but you want to be mad at white women for trying to be you? That's a story for another day. I feel like at a point, if you want to express yourself, let it be what it is, full stop. If they want to be black or whatever, let them do what they want to do. But don't be upset, because look at this. Look at this foolishness.
It may not repeat verbatim, but it sure does rhyme.
She really is madder than a cut snake. And you'd remember I played a clip last night of Joy Reid mocking white women's tears. Well, look who's crying now.
My show had value.
Listen, this could be good for her, because unfortunately, though, she was using MSNBC. Like a lot of them on there, they used that to be able to reach the whole nation. So now she's basically got to do what Candace did, got to do what Don Lemon did. I mean, she did all this trash talking about Tucker Carlson. Look at Tucker Carlson. That's all she's got to do. If she's worth her salt, all these tears is for naught. Get up there and make your platform. I'm Joy Reid. Stick your chest out and talk that talk. Now that you have a platform, just as long as you don't have any hate speech, you can say whatever you want. Get on YouTube. Start a YouTube for real. You have look at that setup. She has the setup. She has everything she needs to do so. And that's a beautiful aesthetic in the background. I feel like she should kind of lean back into more of the black woman aesthetic as opposed to the whole blonde. I'm not going to lie. She need to go back to the wigs, in my opinion, and just lean back into that black woman aesthetic and just black and do it the right way. She could build a nice platform that way. You feel me? But I ain't going to lie. She look kind of crazy like this. I'm not going to hold you.
And that, I'm sorry.
No.
That what I was doing had value.
No.
I keep cutting in and out, but I really got to get these points in. Listen, the only way you know what you was doing was actually valuable is starting from here and then growing. As I stated, I've already listed several people who've done it. So now that you don't have MSNBC behind you, now we get to see if she's really as valuable as she claims. All these black people talking about we're going to boycott. No, don't boycott. You don't need to boycott anybody per se. But definitely shut up and go and just watch her videos and see how entertained you are. If you see how valuable they are. Don't cry about her being kicked off. Help her and support her in her future endeavors. That's what we need to do as a black community if we want to sit there and be taken serious. We can't sit there and be crying because somebody fired us. especially in this scenario. If we were fired, we were taken off. Now it's up to us if we truly cared about these people. There you go. If you truly cared about these people, then you will support them. Now it's 2025. It's time for common sense. If you support the woman, go support her. If not, shut up and stop crying. It's not racism. She wasn't valuable.
It had no value, Joy. It was just hysteria, lies, race-baiting, hyperbole, designed to agitate the ill-informed left who really don't need any further help in being angry and miserable. And if you feel sorry for Joy Reid, if you think I'm being a bit too harsh, just remember her glee when firefighters and police officers were sacked for not getting their COVID shots. So yes, we have the receipts.
It's a pattern that we've seen across the country with police unions and officers coming out against mandates. Seattle's police union called the mandate a public safety crisis, as if vaccines aren't for the public's safety. The city's police and firefighters who were fired for non-compliance made a very dramatic exit, marching to City Hall to turn in their boots. And a trooper went as far as to attack Governor Jay Inslee over the radio while claiming that he was being asked to leave because I'm dirty. I mean, no one said not being vaccinated was dirty, but okay then.
Charming, charming. That diatribe went on for some time before she ended on this bit of misinformation and hysteria, accusing police officers of risking the lives of the public by not taking their COVID vaccine. And she also attacked officers for not being masked in a New York subway.
Police officers are supposed to protect and serve, but they're actually putting themselves ahead of the citizens they could infect. We constantly hear that police brutality cases wouldn't even have happened if only.
She just yapping. But the realness of what was going on with COVID, I feel like that was all a ploy to kind of hide what they really were doing. And we'll never know until some whistleblower comes along and they say, during COVID, Dr. Fauci and all these other people, this is what they were doing to try to, there was something they were, orchestrating to try to, throw us off of their scent. But I mean, that's just been the name of the game for the government for the last, I don't know how long. They're doing something underneath and behind the scenes, but they'll give us nonsense like the COVID vaccine and stuff like that. And the numbers are inflated because a lot of people who died from COVID died with other issues. So they didn't just die because they had COVID. Unless they were elderly. But again, older people, if they're old, their immune systems are a little bit can be subjected to being compromised a little bit quicker than somebody who's in shape or much younger. So that's just common sense, and that's kind of what happened. So we can sit there and keep lying about it, or we can kind of move on from it. I feel like at some point we just need to move on and go from where we were at and start to kind of argue real issues as opposed to what's going on. And this is why Joy Reid has been let go. But let me continue.
Only everyone just complied and followed all of their commands. But it's clear that some officers don't hold themselves to that same standard. They're literally refusing to comply with the law. Just take what happened at a New York subway stop yesterday, where a rider says he was harassed and then thrown out of the station for asking officers to wear masks, which, by the way, is the law. The NYPD says the event is under internal review. Guess all the cops former Governor Cuomo sent into the subway system are really making an impact. So for putting Americans in danger, officers and unions who are fighting against vaccine mandates, which essentially means fighting to make the public sick, are tonight's absolute worst.
She's just the worst, isn't she? Imagine being too much of a lefty loon even for MSNBC.
Keep Hitler out the White House. Hitler, White House. We keeping him out.
Restoring the name Fort Bragg sure looks like an attempt to resegregate the military. It's a right-wing fantasy land, like Disney.
How many black women? Oh, that's a bad standstill. How many black women got that hairstyle? You know what she looked like? She looked like a white woman who like black dudes. I don't see that whatever little pixie cut. Most black women ain't rocking that. That is an older white woman hairdo. She looks like an older. This is a whole get up from an older white woman who shop at Target.
World, but in hell. Come to Florida, the meanest place on earth.
This woman is so shameless and comfortable making racist comments that she called the great Clarence Thomas, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, a racial pejorative on live TV.
If somehow they manage to stumble into the Supreme Court, do any of you guys trust Uncle Clarence and Amy Coney Barrett and those guys to actually follow the letter of the law? No.
Just gross, and shame on the other two MSNBC anchors for not jumping in with a rebuke right there. Remember, this is the woman who a couple of months ago was telling Americans to not have Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner with their Republican family, to shun their own flesh and blood if they vote differently. And this next clip really captures the ugliness of Joy Reid and the far left in general. This rant went on, I don't know, for like 10 minutes. Here's 42 seconds that gives you an idea of the endless bile of the far left.
These are the people who say the undocumented, who they get to call illegal immigrants, like the Pilgrims had permission to come here, have to suffer the consequences of their actions, right? They made the choice to overstay their visas or come into our country illegally, so if they get deported, consequences. But you right-wingers shouldn't have to suffer the consequences of your votes? You don't want to be around me because I voted for fascism. No fair. I'm coughing on you with COVID, but you want me to wear a mask for your safety? No fair. My body, my choice. Well, here's an alternative thought. Make your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches. Wipe your own tears. Troll amongst yourselves with Elon and leave us alone. You
really have to marvel at the delusion there, the thought that Republicans are sad about not dining with the likes of her. The audacity is, I've got to say, off the charts. She genuinely thinks Republicans regret their vote. They are the ones who miss out because cousin Sarah with the nose piercings and the green hair boycotts Thanksgiving dinner.
But if you expect the 73 million who voted for the prosecutor, not the felon, and particularly the 92% of black women who voted for Kamala to give you a cookie for your vote, a trophy, a hug, a high five?
The irony in what she just said, the prosecutor versus the felon. I believe both of them have overinflated backgrounds. So as far as Trump being a felon, that was in my, based off of what I know, that was the same document, but they just charged him 34 times for that same document. So I believe what he argued in court was he didn't even know that was what was going on. It was somebody else that was handling that document. So he was charged 34 times for the same exact document, right? But if we see how Kamala became the prosecutor, there are people who said that worked around her. She didn't do anything. And you can see that she has been nothing but a character that was put up. She did exactly what she was told, how she was supposed to do it. You see why the Democrats don't have anybody else right now? Because they don't have anybody else that can do exactly what she did. Because they're messing up. But you want to know who they're using? They're using black women. You see how they use Joy Reid? You see how they're using Jasmine Crockett? They're using black women because they understand if you talk against this black woman, you are racist and you are a misogynist. So you have to understand and believe what they're saying, or you are doing nothing but spewing hate speech, because this black woman has to have she has to be saying the right stuff because she's a black woman, right? She has to be telling the truth because she's a black woman, right? No. She's only being echoed what them dollars are telling her to echo. You know what I'm saying? So we can sit there and try to play the fool if we want to, or we can sit there and look at things for what they are. You're starting to see this domino effect of these people getting fired. Why? Because we see that they're not being journalists. She's not a real journalist. Just like Kamala wasn't a real politician. If she was a real politician, why is California in the shambles that they are? Even before she left being a governor. Why was California so bad? All we would have had as the United States, we would have become California, but on steroids. Because if we would have allowed her to become the president. So, we have to do what we need to do to start to do the necessary research to just be objective. I'm not telling you to believe what you hear, everything, but there needs to be an opportunity to take a step back and understand that somebody's lying and somebody's telling the truth. And a lot of what's being, and they're not just lies to our face. A lot of it is lies of omission. They're not telling us everything. So if Elon Musk, who again should be untouchable, should be unreachable, let's just be honest. He's got that kind of money. We should not have that kind of access to him. That's what people don't understand. It's almost marveling to understand that we get to see the richest man in the States. We get to see him talk to us and tell us what's going on with our government, which is mind-boggling, because we would have had people on the other side who were almost maybe as rich as him or had money just like him, who wouldn't have told us a daggone thing. These oligarchs are rich people and they're on both sides. But we get the opportunity to see some of the billionaire oligarchs on the right who weren't right, who probably aren't necessarily right. Because, I mean, Elon Musk has a lot of baby mamas and a lot of children out of wedlock. That's not a conservative thing. So we can't say he's right-leaning. He just wanted to go for who was the best. A lot of these rich people, they live very, very liberal and very progressive lives. So it's different nowadays. It's not the same like it was 10, even, 20 years ago. It's not the same. But anyway, let's go ahead and finish this out.
You might be asking too much. If we want to eat with you, we will. But if we just want some peace over the holidays and we don't want to put up with your trolling while we eat our tofurkey, get over it. Stop acting like we owe you. And for God...
You know what?
The 92% of black women who voted for Kamala to give you a cookie for your vote, a trophy, a hug, a high five, you might be asking too much. If we want to eat with you, we will. But if we just want some peace over the holidays and we don't want to put up with your trolling while we eat our tofurkey, get over it.
A what? While you eat your... she say... she's saying a tofu turkey. So a fake turkey? Bro, come on now. Nah, we not doing this. We not doing this. We not doing it. Listen. We finna finish this out. Bro, there's so much wrong with people on the left. And if you look at Exhibit A or Exhibit Joy and how these people have these jaded mindsets, you can't get online or get on, not even online. This is not online, excuse me. You can't be a Democratic pugnant, basically a lower version of a congresswoman. You're supposed to be a journalist. You're supposed to have degrees. You're supposed to be able to say, you can have your political dealings, but you have to put the news out the way this is supposed to be put out. You can't sit there and be so extreme. And any person who says something about a tofurkey is extreme. Because who on earth, if you don't like turkey and you don't eat meat, just don't eat it. Why on earth are you going to eat a tofu turkey? What the world? I digress from that. Anyway, so listen. The reason why she was let go had nothing to do with racism. So, believe it or not, she did not bring a lot of value. Rachel Maddow does not bring that much value. However, she does do a good job with her journalism, and she is entertaining enough to keep people. She's not always, although she is, homosexual, she's not always leaning into that. She is overtly political, and I feel like what her joy is, a lot of times she did lean into that homosexuality because she would bring certain people on. You can watch 10 Minutes of Joy. She'll be talking about Trump. This is how it will go, because I actually watched it. She will talk about Trump, talk about hating Trump, Trump bad, Trump Hitler. Then after 10 minutes, commercial break, come back, gay guy. I mean, at some point, you know what's happening. So most people, especially the old school liberals, they're not necessarily accepting of homosexuality as more progressive people are. The younger people, the under 30 people. And under 30 people are online. They're on YouTube. So that's why I said maybe she'll have her opportunity to be able to reach a different, group of people. We'll have to see. Who knows? But anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching, sticking it out this far. If you can, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to bring you more content whether you like it or not. But you guys enjoy your day. Get some sunshine and all that. But anyway, take it easy. I'm going to catch you on the next one.